November 22nd, heading into the courtroom to see if they could change their policy on free-for-all for public tickets once the jury's verdict is going to be announced. So, unfortunately, they broke the process, so I'm going to try to ask the right questions here. Morning. Hey there. I wonder if I could appeal or ask for a review of this free-for-all on the public tickets to return to an 8:30 to 9, handout of tickets and then do a lottery within that 30 minutes.
So we're not going to do the lottery.
I know.
First come, first served.
That seems like you've changed the rules.
It wasn't us.
No, I understood. That's why I'm here early, and I'm trying to resolve the problem because I think that it sets up a environment that is arbitrary and capricious, meaning that random application of your rules, and then based on your feelings you change them, as opposed to.
Well, it wasn't our feelings. It was because of the time.
Sure, of
when
course.
we thought it was going to be 2 hours, we knew we couldn't do a lottery. But as you've seen, it takes about 20 plus minutes to do the lottery, to get the ticket, call up the numbers, all that. So because we only have a half an hour, we're just asking people to go and line up outside of Department 13. So if you go and line up, as soon as you see that tweet, you'll get in.
Right. Yeah, but that's broken because I think that that's something that we're not doing. That's why we didn't fill that corridor with people waiting to get in on Department 13.
We worked with this time constraint though, and the judge decided yesterday that he's only allowing 30 minutes because once the verdict's in, he wants to get in.
Understood. I'm unsure why the reasons are. Is there a reason that he give a statement, or is there any way that the public could understand what's going on?
Yeah, it's just that all the parties, the attorneys were both in the room with the judge, and they all agreed that 30 minutes was the...
But when the public was there, when we got to see the actual instructions, it was 2 hours. And so it seems like this is the type of opaque government actions that makes the public uneasy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's not that at all.
Well,
it really was just the attorneys saying that, we really want to just get this verdict read, and we don't, we feel that...
Avoiding potential conflict.
Yeah, see, but the thing is, you're filling in the answers I want to hear on a memo, right? It's like, I want to see an official explanation on why this policy, but specifically what you might be able to affect in that every single day that we've come in and done a lottery, we can do the lottery at 9 o'clock, and then we could go away and check our tweets or whatever within 30 minutes, and then whatever seats are left open, then you did a first come, first serve, essentially. You guys managed that wonderfully, right?
Yeah.
So it just seems like to break that routine would be, would hurt your process. I'm trying
I know what you mean.
Okay.
Our process has always revolved around the judge and what the judge has ordered and issued. So
Right.
we don't tell our government officials how to conduct.
Yeah, but we're the people, we do, you see? So I'm trying to figure out how I can appeal. Understood, but I'm trying to avoid the king and the emperor, the oligarchy type of situation. This is the message we're trying to send in that how can I appeal? I mean, you're saying, the judge can, but there has to be due process. The judge operates on rules. Done a great job so far. It just seems
It's
that...
not just the judge, it's a criminal trial. In criminal trials, they found that there's more room for conflict the longer you wait to deliver the verdict.
So, and then
Okay, can I get a reference article or a ruling or a case law that says that opinion of yours? I mean, these are the type of things, I'm trying to construct reasons on why this process doesn't make sense today. That's why.
not have the lottery.
To not have the lottery this
let me
morning.
so hypothetical, if we did have the lottery, we gave the 30-minute notice, we had everybody come and show up, get a ticket, right?
9 o'clock, you do the lottery, right?
do the lottery.
Right, so we all have our potential, we all have our badges
Right.
to get here within 30 minutes. If we don't get there within the 30 minutes, you can go and check. We have 6 seats left or 20 seats left, and then the public can be let in who are standing in the hallway. That seems to me the process we followed for the last couple of weeks, and it seemed to work.
To have the time to it.
Yeah, it's really a time constraint.
It's a time constraint.
Yeah, but
It
But-
really is.
okay.
Good morning.
Realistically,
what I'm trying to illustrate is
One
that,
second.
no problem. What I'm trying to illustrate is it's not the time constraint because we did the process and we've only gotten
we
the,
had 2 hours. Trial doesn't start till 10.
I know, but you're associating two things that are unrelated. I'm saying that we've had 15-minute breaks, right? And we've been able to reseat the seats, and they let people
We
in.
didn't redo a lottery in 15
I know. I have to break you out of the mind frame that we're trying to do the lottery at the time of the verdict. I'm trying to.
Adjust it to Ann and see what she says.
That's all. Yeah. So I'm trying to appeal the process, and I'm just trying to find out what appellate process is, and I'm just trying to explain myself correctly in that the 9 o'clock lottery seemed to work, and to make it a free for all seems to be to denigrate the process.
Yeah. I don't know. There's nothing really else.
Is that okay? I mean,
we can talk
this
to
is.
Ann.
I'm trying to illustrate. I can't explain why it went for a free for all. That's all. And so I'm trying to hear, and it's not. I mean, the reason.
So if you look at our media guide, you'll see it does talk about the lottery, but it does say that the court has the discretion to, manage the seating in the way that they feel and
Okay.
seems appropriate. And the appropriateness of us doing this first come first serve because we only have a half hour, having people have to come down here, do the lottery, go through the screening, go through secondary screening, and we're trying to think of the people. We're not doing this.
I am too.
We're trying to be fair. We think that is the
That's
fair
all.
way to
And
do
I
it.
think the fair way to do it is have a public policy ahead of time so that we can review it and then appeal it. Right now that there's no time to essentially address this schism, this crack in your policy that doesn't seem to.
I don't think so. I mean, we have the language in our media guide
All
that
right.
says we have the discretion, the court has the discretion.
Well,
to
that's what
change
I-
the way.
But as a people, as a person who has the public right to attend and watch the process, see, I'm trying to report upon the process.
You don't have a problem getting in. You don't
I
even
know,
get
I know,
here,
I know, but
it'll be fine.
that's not. It's where we have a broken process. The process is when the judges changes their mind, how can I appeal it? How can I address it with the administrative staff, which I'm doing?
I mean, you're welcome to do whatever.
That's all. I'm just here to. I'm here to try to find out what challenges I could give to this rule change or this new process. That's all. So if there are none, and this is it, that's fine. It's just I'm letting you know that there's a reasonable questions as to why the process has changed, and I think that it was working before, and I just don't think that going to a free for all helps the judiciary branch.
We'll have people lined up. The sheriff sessions will help us line people up in order as they come. I mean.
Yeah, it is a free for all because it's you're essentially whenever the verdict comes, whoever's the first 25 people closest to the building are going to be able to get those seats, as opposed to a rational, reasonable policy of doing the lottery. I'm just saying it seemed to me that everything worked up until this morning, and I'm just here to try to appeal to say if we can reinstantiate that old policy and just feedback to the end. You make your decision. You're doing your job. That's all, and I'm just doing my job.
We'll definitely talk again.
That's it. That's all. I'm just putting forth a logical argument that might not work in your situation. I just think that to me, there's a better process, and you had it in place. That's all. All right, cool. I'm just going to read those things. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
This is just about the public lottery rules.
All right.
Do you have a copy of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are new. I'm assuming so. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Yeah. So public lottery rules. There are 24 seats available daily for the public lottery. 5 additional tickets will be drawn for a waiting list. The tickets of the public lottery may be obtained between 8:30 and 8:55, and the public lottery held at 9. Trial will not convene on Fridays, November 16th and 23rd. Members on the public list, after receiving your one-day seating pass, all lottery seats must immediately exit the lobby, re-enter the Hall of Justice for security, blah, blah, blah. If you leave, there are no cameras, laptops, tablets, recording devices allowed in the courtroom, with the exception of a cell phone that must be off, but they've modified that. Okay. In the presence of any juror, once a courtroom sessions, distractions will not be tolerated. Once a court session begins, distractions will not be tolerated inside the courtroom, right? Of course, the bailiff will only allow entrance and exit during breaks. No beverages. Audience members must refrain from outbursts, including reacting orally or physically to questions, testimonies, arguments, or comments made by the judge, attorneys, or witnesses. Very difficult when the judge is cracking jokes, but whatever. May not pass notes or talk to another audience member while in court session. No member of the audience may speak to the judge, juror, alternate jurors, or courtroom staff. Any conduct or circumstance the court deems prejudicial so as to violate the defendant's right to a fair trial will be removed from the courtroom. Nothing I've done has been inside the courtroom. Audience members may not wear clothing or other accessories aimed at eliciting any emotional response from the jury. Public lottery seat passes must abide by court decorum and media order, see attached. Failure to do so can result in revocation. Decorum. The purpose of this order is to protect the party's constitutional rights to a fair and impartial jury trial, to protect the jurors' privacy, to allow the public and media to exercise their First Amendment rights, to ensure courtroom proceedings are conducted with respect and decorum for proper administration of justice, and to ensure the safe, orderly use of court facilities. The court may rescind or modify this order at any time based on specific circumstances or in the court's discretion. Where's the appellate process here? A failure, there's no due process. Failure to adhere to the rules of this order, abide by the orders of the Sheriff's Department, will result in sanctions, including expulsion from the courtroom. Nothing I've done is inside the courtroom, so that shouldn't make any difference. Department 13 rules of decorum. Bailiff only allow entrance and exits. No food or beverages. Newspapers allowed in the courtroom. The judge drinks. The jury is given chocolates, and newspapers are allowed in the courtroom. I could imagine exposed newspapers, but ridiculous. So, audience members must refrain from outbursts, including reacting orally. Any member may speak to the no member of the audience may speak to the judge or this is again inside the courtroom. Recording or broadcasting of proceedings is restricted inside the courtroom. Again, inside the courtroom. Media issued credentials. Due to limited courtroom seating, court issued credentials will be issued according to the court's protocol and discretion. Submission of credential application does not guarantee a courtroom seat. All requests of credentials must be submitted to blah 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 on September 18th. Must be read and signed. Media personnel must be prepared to present official credentials identifying them as a member of a recognized media organization. Media personnel must be prepared to present official credentials identifying them as a member of the recognized media organization. Court-issued credentials shall be valid for entry in Department 13 during the trial unless they are restricted by court order. If seat demand in Department 13 exceeds the 60-seat capacity, there will only be one assigned seat per media outlet or parent company. So here, Fox News assumes to get 2 media seats per media outlet or parent company. Trial proceedings will not be allowed to attend. Media personnel will be allowed to attend the following trial proceedings: voir dire, miss that, opening statements, witness testimony, jury instruction, closing arguments, reading of the verdict. During the trial, media may not approach, contact, attempt to interview, photograph, or sketch anywhere, prospective juror, sitting juror, blah, blah, blah. Media shall make no attempt to contact, interview, or question prospective or impaneled jurors, potential impaneled jurors, yes, protected jurors. Of course, there are 60 seats, standing is not permitted. There will be designated seating for families, court-credentialed media, the public, court staff, and other audit. Morning. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
Let's check in.
That's the hardest working senior here.
Media credentials and court-issued credentials must be worn all times inside the Hall of Justice. Court-issued credentials cannot be transferred from other media personnel, loaning another media representative. No disruptions in the hallway will be tolerated. The noise level in the hallway must be kept to a minimum. Other courtrooms will also be in session. No passageway or doors may be blocked. So I wasn't disrupting. I was asking an adversarial question and then whatever. Then the reporters go nuts because it interrupts their narrative. Anyone violating this order will be subject to discipline of the court, including but not limited to contempt, authority, immediate removal of the courtroom, prohibition from returning to the courtroom, and revocation of the court-issued media credential. Photographs, video, audio recordings made in violation of this order will be subject to media confiscation, erasure. Violation of this order may be excluded from the courtroom for the duration of the trial. All right, so Terry Jackson, Garrett Wong, and Samuel Feng are the judges, signed September 14th. So the chief executive officer would be Michael Wan, Y-U-E-N. Phone number 415-551-5737 to address the beginning October 23rd, again, public lottery rules. So, odd.